History, repeatedly proves one powerful truth. Survival does not always belong to the strongest or the best equipped. More often, it belongs to those who can adapt. In challenging situations, whether on the battlefield, in the wilderness, or during times of crisis, the ability to adjust quickly to changing conditions can mean the difference between success and failure. During wartime, soldiers constantly faced unpredictable circumstances. Supplies ran low, weather conditions shifted suddenly, plans changed without warning, and environments varied dramatically from one region to another. Those who survived and succeeded were not always the most powerful individuals. Instead, they were the ones who mastered the art of adaptation. Adaptation begins with a simple but often overlooked mindset: accept reality quickly. When situations change unexpectedly, some people waste valuable time resisting the new conditions. They focus on what should have happened rather than what is actually happening. In survival situations, this delay can be dangerous. Experienced soldiers learn to assess situations immediately and adjust their actions without hesitation. If supplies were delayed, they rationed more carefully. If weather conditions worsened, they altered their routes or strengthened their shelter. By accepting reality quickly, they could focus on solutions rather than frustration. The second part of adaptation involves learning to use what is available. In ideal conditions, people rely on specialized equipment designed for specific tasks. But wartime environments rarely provided ideal conditions. Soldiers frequently had to improvise tools and solutions using whatever materials they could find. A simple piece of cloth could become a bandage, a water filter, or even protection from the sun. Empty containers, those could store water or food, and broken equipment might still provide parts useful for repairs or other purposes. This ability to see multiple uses in ordinary objects allowed soldiers to solve problems creatively. Adaptation often meant turning limited resources into valuable tools. Another key element of adaptation is really understanding the environment. Different environments present different challenges. Dense forests, open deserts, frozen landscapes, and mountainous terrain each demand, unique survival strategies. Soldiers operating in these regions quickly realized that success depended on adjusting their habits to match the surroundings. In hot climates, travel was often limited to the cooler hours of the day to avoid heat exhaustion. And in cold regions, maintaining body warmth became the highest priority. Rather than forcing a single approach onto every situation, experienced troops observed their surroundings and adjusted their behavior accordingly. Adaptation also requires, flexibility and planning. Plans are important, but rigid plans can become, quite dangerous when circumstances change. Military operations often had to shift quickly due to enemy movement, terrain obstacles, or even weather conditions. Those who adapted successfully treated plans as guidelines rather than fixed rules. When new information appeared, they modified their approach, sometimes on the spot. For example, a planned travel route might become too dangerous due to enemy presence. Instead of pushing forward blindly, adaptable soldiers found alternate paths that provided greater safety. Flexibility allowed them to respond intelligently rather than stubbornly. Another important aspect of adaptation involves managing energy and resources wisely. Unexpected challenges can drain physical and mental strength really quickly. Soldiers, they learned to pace themselves carefully, conserving energy whenever possible. If food or water supplies became limited, they would, adjust their consumption habits. Movement might slow down to reduce exhaustion, and rest periods might increase to allow the body to recover. By recognizing their limitations and, adjusting their behavior, soldiers prevented small problems from becoming serious threats. Adaptation also requires mental resilience. Difficult conditions can create frustration, fear, and uncertainty. These emotions can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. The ability to remain calm and focused is essential when facing unexpected challenges. Soldiers who adapted well maintained a steady mindset even when conditions were uncomfortable or unpredictable. They understood that hardship was part of the situation and focused on what they could control rather than what they could not. This mental strength helped them remain effective even when circumstances became difficult. Communication and cooperation also played a major role in adaptation. No one person could solve every problem alone. Soldiers often relied on teamwork to overcome obstacles. When individuals shared ideas and observations, they discovered solutions faster and avoided unnecessary mistakes. Groups that communicated effectively were far more capable of adapting to changing conditions than individuals working in isolation. Adaptation, therefore, was not just an individual skill, it was a shared effort. Perhaps the most important lesson from the art of adaptation is that change is inevitable. Conditions rarely remain stable for long. Weather shifts, resources fluctuate, and situations evolve constantly. Those who resist change often struggle, while those who accept and adjust to it, they find ways to move forward. The soldiers who endured the harsh realities of wartime environments learned that flexibility, creativity, and awareness were often more valuable than rigid strength. Their experiences demonstrate that survival is not simply about enduring hardship. It is about learning to move with changing circumstances. The art of adaptation teaches us to observe carefully, think creatively, and remain calm when plans no longer work as expected. These lessons, really do extend far beyond wartime situations. In everyday life, unexpected challenges still arise. And, those who adapt quickly often find solutions where others see only obstacles. By staying flexible, resourceful and focused, we develop the ability to handle whatever challenges come our way. The soldiers who practiced the art of adaptation proved that resilience is not just about toughness. It is about the willingness to adjust, learn, and continue moving forward. If you enjoy learning practical lessons from history and the survival wisdom developed through real experience, be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who values resilience, preparedness, and the timeless skill of adapting to whatever life brings.